What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and some hardcore-only Mystic action. So we got things back around to kind of doing what we want. Of course, I can do the Incursion Repeller. However, I also have got the weekly this week for Win 20 Expedition rounds, which I probably won't get done, to be honest, before the reset comes along. Now, the smart thing to do at this point is to knock out the Incursion Repeller and get that Bank Vault and that extra Burning Strike Shard. However, I am not going to bother doing that. I want to push up through Expeditions. We're in Chaos 6, Gates of Dragonfall here. Now, Chaos 6 is all about the Hex Throwers, and one problem with picking this map is Hex Thrower shots pierce. So you've got to kind of wall things up in a position where you're not having to worry about that pierce going off. In addition to that, I now have Mass Destruction. So we got Mass Destruction, Destruction, and Defense Rate going. Let's see how we can build this out. Now, like I said, I want to be very, very conscious of that pierce. So, like, I can throw a wall over here that will give me a pierce or a target on this side, where nothing is going to hit the core. I can throw a wall like a little up front, something like that. And I don't think any shots will hit the core. Here is the area I'm a little worried about, and that is the middle lane. So I want to come down this ramp a little bit, hoping that the Hex Thrower shots just hit the ground and don't go to the core. Now, we also know that the Hex Throwers leave that big old puddle of goodness behind, so we want to build so that those are not a factor. We've got, we can go something like this for a little up front, and then add in something like that for a little bit behind, and throw like a Serpent's Coil in right there. That's going to get our range pylons going here. Now, we're also going to want to make sure we've got something hitting up front on these sides. So I'm going to go something like that and hope that this stuff just doesn't all get slapped. Now, I'm a little bit worried about this lane. You know, of course, I can build, like normally I would just build them right behind. However, they're definitely going to get cursed by the Hex Throwers, so I don't want that. Let's try going something similar. We'll get a little bit of up front here, and then for the enemies at the wall, we'll go something like that, and throw in a Serpent's Coil, and then of course we're going to have flyers here on this side as well. So let's get something in for the flyers, and that leaves me 50 DU left. I think the natural choice there is to throw just an obelisk down. And where do we want to go from here? Well, let's just double up the obelisk and see how things go. We're going to have to get in the mix on this one and make sure that we're helping to participate in killing those Hex Throwers. If not, it's just going to be a problem. I'm also hoping that the Hex Throwers aren't going to throw at my towers, which we will see. Now, having that Destruction, Mass Destruction double stack means I got plenty of juice. So, I mean, we've got lots of power and are able to just burn stuff down. Yeah, the range on Hex Throwers is just so absurd. Absolutely incredibly absurd. They will throw from the other side of the world. There is no doubt about that. Luckily, we are burning through them at a pretty decent clip there, it looks like. The Mass Destruction double stack is just really the most power you're going to be able to give your defenses in the game. And the only question is it worth giving up that range? Because you are giving up a little range to be able to do that. But that was pretty smooth sailing there for Wave 1. Now, hopefully, we get enough mana where I can get an upgrade on all of those snakes. So I think we will. Let's work on getting these snakes jacked up. And we'll save a little for another obelisk upgrade. What are we using here anyway? We got Fiery Fangs, Power Servo, and Gobu Boom. If I found a defense rate mod, I would probably throw it on over that Power Servo. You know, we're still a ways away from getting to the cap in defense rate, and it'll require either a Gilded Shard or a shard and a mod. And, you know, the most realistic option, I think, for this or any new player type experience is going to be to use the shard and the mod. We're wrecking now. Absolutely wrecking here so far. I'll be anxious to get to Chaos 7. Chaos 7 will be a pretty smooth transition into, I think. And then the real pain will begin around Chaos 8. Yeah, we are wrecking. We're wrecking. I'm assuming a couple more upgrades, and this is going to be a full-on face roll. See how fast Quibbly burns. We'll want to kind of distract Quibs a little bit and make sure that... Actually, our dagger did a ton to him. The old Dark Torment dagger toss there just shredded him. Alright. Yeah, pretty smooth sailing on that one. Alright, let's see what we can do. Well, where are our bosses coming from? We've got a captain there, and we've got a wolf there. So let's hit all this stuff. And then we'll just let it fly here. We're going to have to grind out a few Chaos 6 maps to get Chaos 7 unlocked. And then, of course, we can always take the survival route, too, and try to go a little ways in survival. And see if we can get pushed up. Chaos 7 Expeditions is just one of the tiers that's pretty easy to break into. So there's no real benefit of trying to go for survival to break into those expeditions at the moment. Alright, here comes the Stone Wolf and the Captain. They're both going to be moving pretty quick. Got our lovely assassins here. Yeah, it looks like that. The Captain kind of got dealt with on his own. And the same thing with the doggo. He's pretty beat up by the time he made it down to us. Alright, let's get our obelisk jacked up the rest of the way, and then I think we can just spam them in over here. Looking pretty good. We got a Shaper and Malthius. Hex thrower right in the face. Could even see the wind up pretty good on that one. This hex thrower's hit like an absolute truck, there's for sure. And currently I have no hero health, of course. We got another dive bomber over here. And then here comes our Shaper and our Assassins. Let's do the Assassins right here. They got me. Hopefully that Shaper is getting burned out. Oh yeah, the Shaper got wrecked just by the snakes. And so did Malthius, so... The power of the double stack, it's just so good. One more assassin left. He's dealt with. And what do we want to do from here? Wave 5. So we're going to have A boss on each lane. We got a Siege Roller, a Captain, and a Dragon Lord. Alright, so we'll get a good mix on this one. Let's upgrade those 3. And then we'll just spam in some ups over there. Sniper Warbleed rolling out hot. To see how these bosses go. You assassins coming right when the bosses are there. Got them dealt with. The captain is down. The Dragon Lord's getting chewed up. Yeah, Dragon Lord is down. So we just have the Siege Roller to deal with. Of course, it is going to come out very last. Still not fully out yet. Dark Torment just does so wonderfully against those Siege Rollers. So there we go. Chaos 6 is in the bag, and we should have gotten quite a few upgrades out of the deal. A bunch of Chaos 6 loot. It's all 0 of 10, so we're going to have to do a few more expeditions to get that stuff leveled up. But let's go ahead and head back out the tavern and see what that did for the champion score and what we need to get to next. Alright, so did we get any standout loot? We got a bow shard, which we do not need. And we got a Tesla coil shard, which we do not need. So no love there. Let me lock that so I don't accidentally scrap it. Let's just take a look at our auto equip here and see what that did. Yeah, it got us up about 200 champion score here. And we're at 4257 of 5300. So got to get to 5300 to get it unlocked. You saw we went up 200 on that one. I think that will be pretty normal probably. So we'll have to do like 5 or 6 Chaos 6s perhaps to get Chaos 7 unlocked. Maybe, maybe a little bit more. Let's just do a quick look and make sure we didn't get any 10 out of 10s there. Actually, I got a pretty nice dagger there I might want to use. But yeah, anyway, there is Chaos 6. We are in and ready to keep on the push. So, gonna have to do a few more Chaos 6s. We'll get Chaos 7 unlocked. And yeah, away we go. But thanks a ton for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you soon. Take it easy.